Girls Club and was an active member of the Black Students Association. She was the event coordinator of the Black Students Association in her final year, 1997. In 2003, she was a recipient of the Gwen Jenkins Scholarship and returned to school as a single parent to do her master's degree. She was involved with the Black History Closing Gala, this activity, for a decade, directing the show. She sat on the board of Abundantly Blessed and Valerie Hibbert Ministries and the London Children's Museum. She has been a worship leader for Abundantly Blessed and London Outreach Centre, and has also been a Sunday school teacher for London Outreach Centre. She has volunteered with the Congress of Black Women and sat on the executive board. She has also volunteered with Opportunities International. Jen is a social worker and has worked at Children's Aid Society since 1999. Currently, she has been seconded by the Child Protection Information Network project through the Ministry of Child and Youth Services. She volunteered in coaching Little League soccer and baseball. Jennifer has been very involved with Mary Kay and was once a director. During the time with Mary Kay, she volunteered for 2 years in organizing a program where Mary Kay representatives would go into nursing homes and give Mary Kay products as gifts to the residents. In 2003, she was honored in judging the Mrs. Canada pageant. In 2012, she co-founded Pink Inc., a styling and imaging consulting company to help women achieve their vision of self. The company gives back to the community by creating a fundraiser each year for a local charity. Last year, Jennifer co-produced Youth on Fire, Weird and Proud, a fundraiser to raise money for the London Anti-Bullying Coalition. Last year, she also developed a network of women who came together every 6 months to support small businesses, as she is passionate about women owning their own business and shopping locally. Now, using Pink Inc., she plans to do a fundraising event for SWIM, Single Women in Motherhood. Jen is also involved in the Pink Inc. contest entitled Face of Pink, where she awards 3 women with the title and opportunities to empower themselves through professional photo shoot, speaking engagements, and recognition. She is very grateful for all she has achieved and all she can offer to the community. She believes to whom much is given, much is required. In 2013, she was awarded the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal for exemplary service to her community, to Canada, and to Canadians. Ladies and gentlemen, recipient for the 2014 Black Community Achievement Award, Women's category, Jennifer Slade.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am very honored and humbled to be chosen for this award. Thank you very much. I'd like to first thank God, and secondly, my nominators Mark Smith and Vilma Francois, who have always been great supports for me. Thank you. I was told I have 1 minute and then the music is going to start to play and I'll be ushered off the stage. But I promise to only take a few minutes, as I know there is a time constraint, and I just want to talk about planting seeds of greatness in our children. In order to successfully do this, I will need to ask the 2 wonderful examples of greatness in my life, my parents, Glenn and Rosalie Ansine, to please stand. I hope they're here. Before I get into the rest of my acceptance speech, I want everyone to remember something as I speak. The growth of a flower. A seed must be planted, it must be fed and watered, it must be in an environment where it can grow, not surrounded by weeds. And when the flower dies, it is remembered for its beauty and joy it brought to those around it. Please remember this, and you will understand why by the end of my talk today. Quickly, let me tell you my parents' stories, which will help you to understand how I'm standing here receiving this award. My parents, whom are professionals, were also visionaries. I'm so very proud of them. My mother was born into a very ambitious family. She went to school and achieved educational success in Jamaica. When her mother died, my mother was devastated. She sunk into a depression and her family worried about her emotional well-being. They sent her to Canada to live with an aunt in Thompson, Manitoba. While in Thompson, she met and married my father. While married and raising children, my mother went back to school to get her teaching degree, became a teacher, and had a very successful career in education. My father was born into extreme poverty. Being born a Caribbean black male into a family without huge financial income showed him having 4 strikes against him. Although my family wasn't rich, they were ambitious. They had a dream, a vision of greatness. They took what they had and built businesses. My father was the first in our family to get a post-secondary education, not at any university, but at Oxford University in London, England. Do you know the hurdles and sacrifices that had to be made in order for that to happen? Because remember, we're talking back prior to the civil rights movement in the United States. Back then, my dad had to be the cream of the crop, and he was. He obtained a teaching degree and found teaching opportunities in northern Manitoba. So my parents met in Thompson of all places. They married in Jamaica and proceeded to have a family. They had visions of greatness for their kids and for themselves. They were never satisfied with just having a job. They excelled at their jobs and anything else they did. As mentioned, my mother went back to school while my sister and I were young, and she obtained her teaching degree. My father started out as a high school teacher, became head of his department, then became a vice principal and eventually the principal of my high school. In addition, my mother became involved in the betterment of women and was a member of the multicultural group for women. She eventually became the president. She was also very artsy and became involved in theatrical productions. My father was a DJ for years. He too was a leader in the Black community and unapologetic for his strong views and strength in character. I was always given messages that I had to remember that I was a Black child, and with that came responsibility. I was told that I could be whoever I wanted to be and whatever I wanted to be. I was always told that if you have an education, no one will ever be able to take that away from you. My father, who was a lover of all kinds of music, put me in piano lessons, vocal choirs, and orchestral bands. They put me in French immersion so that I'd have an edge on others who only spoke one language when the official languages of Canada were English and French. They put me in swim lessons, dance lessons, athletics. They poured out everything they had to ensure I experienced everything every other child could experience. They did not want me to have any disadvantage. By the age of 14, I was a piano teacher and had won numerous awards for my musical abilities and public speaking. I was the organist at my church, which meant I could not party all night Saturday. I think that's smart parenting. Suffice it to say, I never really fit in with the crowd because I was too busy being involved in various activities. I was a bit bossy too. What a shock having 2 very strong parents. My parents taught me how to multitask, how to not settle for being second best, and therefore instilled in me a very strong work ethic. You've heard about the number of activities I've been involved in, and although they sound impressive to some, they would never have been possible if I did not have parents who planted seeds of greatness with the messages they gave me. You are strong, you are beautiful, and you can do anything. They watered those seeds by intentionally putting me in situations where I had to rise to the occasion, surrounding me in an environment to grow by being examples that they wanted to see in their children. So in front of all these people, Mommy and Daddy, I love you.
What a beautiful daughter.
Okay, lastly but definitely not least, I have to thank my children and my husband who show tremendous patience, love, and support for everything that I do. Thank you. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
That was good. A good speech.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will return control to our MCs.